Empires of men stretched their borders like waking giants. There existed a valley surrounded by mountains, glowing red under the sunset, and into this valley came migrating clans, led by a visionary chieftain named Tafsir, a man whose eyes saw not only the land before him, but the centuries ahead. For generations, his people had wandered like dust on the wind, hunters, gatherers, herders, never resting long enough to plant more.
In temporary shelters, but the valley they discovered in 10 BC was different. It had a river
that curled around the plains like a silver serpent, soil rich enough to hold the weight of dreams, and stone hills that whispered of permanence. One night, under a rising crescent moon, Tafsir gathered the clans around a great bonfire where sparks floated like spirits and
We will stop moving.
We will raise walls that stand against time itself. We will build a city.
Many doubted him, for cities were known only in faraway kingdoms, names spoken like myths. These people were simple wanderers. But Tafsir believed that greatness was not written. The next morning, as fog lifted off the river, he knelt and placed his hand upon the earth, drawing the first simple lines of what would one day become the heart of the valley. His people joined him, inspired by a vision larger than their fears. Weeks turned into months as wooden stakes hammered into the soil became the skeleton of a settlement. Hunters who once tracked deer learned to shape clay bricks. Gatherers who once followed seasonal fruits now planted seeds of barley and chickpea. Every dorm echoed with the rhythm of labor. Timber from the forest. Tafsir walked among them every day, offering guidance, lifting heavy beams with his own scarred arms, and reminding them that they were creating something no storm could wash away. As homes rose from the earth, children ran through unfinished streets, laughing at the strange new idea of having a place that belonged to them, a place where their names might live longer than their bodies. Skilled artisans among the clans carved symbols into pillars, spirals for unity, waves for life, suns for hope. These symbols, once ornaments, became the soul of the rising settlement. Yet building the first city was far from peaceful. Nearby, highland tribes, seeing smoke rise from the valley each morning, believed the newcomers were claiming lands too close to their hunting routes. Scouts carried whispers of raids, of warriors hidden among the pines. One chilly night, under a blanket of stars, the Highland warriors
Descended silently like shadows. Fires erupted, arrows whistled, and huts burned. Stand with me! We built this valley, and we will defend it! To arms!
the dream they had begun. Using hastily built barricades of logs, stones, and grain carts.
Throw the pots! Burn them all! Fire! Retreat now!
After hours of chaos, the Highlanders withdrew, surprised by the stubborn spirit of these valley settlers.
With dawn came smoke, ashes, and grief. Half blackened terrace, and declared that if their home could survive its first attack, then it must indeed be
Destined to stand for centuries. That same day, they began constructing the first true defensive wall. A ring of stone packed with clay and timber beams, thick enough to withstand both blade and fire. Seasons changed, turning the valley from emerald to gold. The settlement grew from scattered huts to districts arranged with careful order. Market areas, storage chambers, communal hearths, and a temple courtyard open to the sky, where elders performed rites.
Thanking the earth for accepting their presence. Travelers began to arrive, following tales of a new city rising.
In the mountains, artisans from distant deserts, shepherds displaced by drought, traders seeking safe roads. With them came new...
This water is so clear!
Yes, the aqueduct is a blessing.
Stories. Tafsir understood that a city was not built by hands alone. It was built by the
forging of lives. He created a council to share power among leaders of different clans, setting rules that
balanced fairness with strength. To prevent famine, they built elevated granaries. To prepare for drought,
channels to guide the river. Step by step, the settlement transformed into a masterpiece of early urban planning.
Long before such ideas had widespread names. But the greatest moment came during the year of the long rains, when the river swelled beyond anything the valley had
ever seen. Floodwaters burst over the banks, turning fields into lakes and homes into islands. The people...
The water is coming! Run!
Help us! The wall is breaking! Get to the high ground! Look here! We carve a new path for the water, a massive channel right here. We must begin now, if we are to survive the flood.
Stand abreast inside it. For days they dug in relentless rain, mud swallowing their feet, thunder shaking.
Splitting it open and letting the flood pour into the new channel. The water roared like a living
beast, but the city stood. When the skies cleared, people hailed Tafsir not only as a leader,
but as the founder of the first valley city. They named the new channel Tafsir's Vein, believing that it carried both water and destiny. Years passed, and the city, now with paved courtyards, high watchtowers, and a central hall supported by giant cedar beams, became a beacon of stability in a turbulent world. Children born in the early days grew into young adults who had never known a wandering life. Festivals took shape, celebrating planting, seasons, victories over storms, and the unity of clans. Musicians played reed flutes and skin drums that echoed through the stone corridors like ancient heartbeats. Foreign traders brought bronze tools and dyed fabrics, amazed that a city so organized had grown from nothing in such a remote valley. Yet Tafsir, older now with silver in his beard, continued to walk the streets barefoot each morning, touching the stones, so he would never forget that everything had risen from dirt and courage. At the final twilight of his life, Tafsir climbed the highest watchtower, overlooking the entire valley. Below him, the city glowed with torches, and the sound of distant singing drifted through the wind. His trusted
Cities are not made of stone. They are made of people who choose not to be alone.
Away that night peacefully, and at dawn the entire population gathered in silent unity. They placed his body
in a stone chamber beneath the central hall, so that the city would forever rest on the shoulders of
its founder. And so, in the year 10 BC,
The valley that had once been empty and forgotten became the birthplace of a thriving civilization, proving to the world that even wandering tribes could carve permanence into the earth when bound together by hope. The first city of the valley endured through centuries, surviving.
Wars, rains, droughts, and the tides of empires. But its people always said the same thing when telling their children the ancient story. We were once wanderers, until one man taught us how to build a
home that time could not erase.